Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. Yeah, price hasn't really moved since my last update. We're going to take a look here at the bearish and the bullish count. So first of all, imminently bearish and then bullish. They are both very likely scenarios. We could have bottomed here already, as I suggested over the last week all the time, that this is possible. It's not even unlikely that Ethereum has already bottomed, but without a signal to the upside, it cannot be confirmed. Then we obviously take a look at the bearish count, which suggests one more low from here. This is the chart that shows you the price development of the April highs. I still see this in the bearish count, or short-term bearish, because both are overall in a bullish setup. Situation is bullish in the crypto market, but you know that if you've been watching my videos. It's just that in the short term, there is still the potential for another low. Okay, so let's take a look at that scenario first. The wave count, I've moved things around a little bit just for because it makes sense more in terms of its proportions. Other interpretations are possible, but this is my let's say the new primary. I can't remember if I showed you that already in the last video or if it showed it only members yesterday. But I find it now likely, and it's something we discussed before. It's just the scenario that came into place after breaking above 1847. Yeah, so you knew about it before, but it's just like I've changed it on the chart now. That this is a wave W to the downside, a wave X to the upside, and we're now in the Y wave down. In this Y wave, we have an A wave, we have a B wave, and a C wave. So that means that after this B wave tops, we should get one more sell-off, maybe to 1660, sort of into that region. Okay. Broke out of the descending wedge, which is possibly bullish, but I don't have 5 waves to the upside yet, so cannot confirm yet that we've bottomed. We have broken above 1847, which was the important resistance I did talk about, right? If we break above 1847, we could get quite quickly to that 1890 level here, which was a resistance level we identified already a while ago. We did get there quite quickly. We actually broke it, reached the next spike here at 1930. And this is now where we are sitting, right? So in the videos over the last few days, I did say many times that if we break above 1847, a larger correction is most likely underway that can take us sort of into that 1940, 1950 range. And hey, we did get very, very close. So the idea is that if this is a B wave, we can still push higher. B waves can be unpredictable. They can be very, very long and very, very high. The idea is that of this 12th of May low, we read it in an A wave, came down in a B wave, and this is now a C wave. Could also be WXY. Doesn't make a great difference now in terms of targets, but we talked in yesterday's video about Fibonacci extensions, and I shared with you that there is there's a 1.618 extension at around about 1945 where price might react to. It didn't quite get there, but we did get into the region that is important for a C wave, which is between the 1-to-1 ratio at 1876 and the 1.618 at 1945. So we are here now. It can still push higher. I have no indication that it has bottomed yet. As I told you throughout the last few days, that there was no indication here yet there. No confirmation that Ethereum has topped. Topped. So if there is no indication it has topped, it can of course easily go higher. Important to understand is now that as long as we only have 3 waves to the upside, this could easily just be an ABC structure in a B wave. And this can even push a little higher. So 1945 is certainly next fib resistance. It's also the structural high. And after that, we've got actually here the 2020 level, very important, as structural high. We can also look at Fibonacci retracements, just to see if we can identify some fib levels that price did react to. And the 1912 level here is the 61.8 retracement. Above that, I've got 1959 as another Fibonacci level of interest. But important to understand, as long as we only have 3 waves, the risk of another low remains. Okay. Now, what is the more bullish count? A bullish count is that we already are in a breakout. And we already said before, this here could have been, instead of an A wave 1, move down in a wave 2. This could now be a third wave, a fourth and a fifth, and then we would not get another low. Instead, after 5 waves up, we would get a 3-wave pullback that should make a higher low. This is the more bullish count. They are both likely. Yeah, I showed you my the more imminent, the primary scenario, which would be another low, and then the second likely one is this one here, where we have 5 waves to the upside. Always important. Try to make that clearer in the future. I think there's always a misconception. I did explain that in the Bitcoin video as well. The two scenarios I show you here, they are both likely. Yeah, I would not show you the uncountable amount of unlikely scenarios. So that means if the alternative count works out, it just simply means it's the second likely one. It's not an unlikely one that works out. Yeah, they are both part of the analysis. So it's not like only the primary can work out. That is a fallacy and a false assumption that can hurt a lot of viewers. Okay, I don't know where that comes from, but it's actually quite logical that the alternative counts are always likely as well. Because I mean, even if they had only like a 30% probability, that's pretty high still. Yeah, and if you trade, you need to consider these different possibilities. It's a bit like if you run a business. If you're a trader, you run a business basically. And if you run a business, you don't want to focus only on one scenario. Yeah, you want to do some risk planning and so on. You need to consider the possible different futures. Yeah, the likely different futures. So always understand that. I know this is always very helpful when I say this, because a lot of people learn from this who might have had some misconceptions about analysis. Again, it's important to adopt an uncertainty mindset. That's why it's so good to have only a couple of scenarios, because I could show you 4 or 5 counts here, which won't help anybody because it will be too much. But if I show you 2, that should give you some clear parameters to work with. But yeah, I cannot confirm that a low is in until we have 5 waves up. Again, that doesn't mean with your trade you should wait until you have 5 waves up. That's a different question, because there are numerous ways of trading this. But we talked about this is a possible 1-2 setup when it was down here. So anybody who wanted to attempt a long against these support areas did. Okay, just be aware that it cannot be confirmed that this is a possible that this is an actual breakout without having the 5 waves up and the 3 waves down. That's typically how it works. Had we had here this as an impulse to the upside, yeah, I could have confirmed it here. But because the first wave up was only a 3-wave structure, we have to wait for all 5 waves to be filled to confirm it, because it would only be possible as a diagonal pattern, which is, just by the very nature of what it is, a less reliable count and a less reliable pattern to work with. Okay, that's my update about Ethereum. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. You can find the links in the video description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.